It is time to talk some Lions news here, and we're going to be going over a former player, current analyst, throws a little bit of love towards DeAndre Swift, and Barry Sanders, Lions great, Hall of Famer, epic running back. I think he likes this regime, and ESPN as well as Vegas takes a big giant dump on the Detroit Lions roster. Let's begin. What is going on, YouTube, and welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with MicroMike. We talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. In this video, we're talking about those subjects, Lions news, and we're going to get into it and kind of give my take upon this going forward. But before we get into the meat and bones of this video, if you're not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button, and most importantly, hit that like button. Let's at least get to 100 likes in this video. Yes, some information came out. Yes, we're putting it all together, and we're just going to jump right into it, starting with ESPN. So ESPN in Vegas came out talking about the Detroit Lions roster, the turnover that they took in, and guess what? They were not liking what have occurred. What do you expect? Did you really expect anything different? This is natural when it comes to Detroit. When it comes to Vegas, ESPN, Legacy Media, they don't like the Detroit Lions. So where did they rank this roster, this turnover, this free agency? Well, they had in the NFC the Detroit Lions as the worst NFC team at 16 out of 16. And when it comes to the NFL, they have the Lions ranked 31st out of 32, the second worst roster in the NFL. If you don't remember, the Detroit Lions did trade former quarterback Matthew Stafford. We got Jared Goff, 2 first-round draft picks and a third-round draft pick. Kenny Golladay left a free agency, went to the New York Giants. Marvin Jones Jr. left free agency, went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Guess what? We don't have Danny Amendola. He's currently a free agent. And other players notable that left is Christian Jones, Jared Davis, Desmond Trufant. A lot of turnover for the Lions. And yeah, you look at it, it is definitely a downgrade. If you look at the wide receiver position, make sure you guys hit that like button. The more likes we get, the more chances the video gets out. Let's get to 100 likes in this video. With your help, it can get done. Yes, those players such as Kenny Golladay leaving does hurt the roster. Same with Marvin Jones Jr., very underrated. And the cornerback position, if you do look at it, it is somewhat of a downgrade. Is it the second to last ranked roster in the NFL? I wouldn't think that's the case at all. You got to look at teams such as the New York Jets, the Houston Texans. There's some teams out there that don't have the best rosters. So when it comes to the Detroit Lions, I think that them saying it's the second worst and the worst in the NFC is a little bit of overreaction, but definitely not something we'd be surprised to be hearing. And that's just the way it goes for these guys to believe into the Detroit Lions. The players that we picked up, like the Tyrell Williams, the Brashard Perrymans, and the Jared Goffs, they got to produce on the field to really make this change and this aura around Detroit negativity with Legacy Media change as well. Former Detroit Lion running back and Hall of Famer Barry Sanders. Want to talk a little bit about our coaching staff and a regime, and it was some good vibes. It's always good to hear from one of the greatest of all time. He says, "We've got our work cut out for us, but hopefully new Lions head coach Dan Campbell is the man," Sanders told ESPN. He definitely came in and made an announcement, a big entry, so yeah, I think we're excited about him. He goes on to say, "Well, it's a great opportunity for the new regime. So many great sports moments have happened here in Detroit. There's been hockey championship, baseball championship, basketball championships, but Detroit is definitely a football town," Sanders said, "and there's a thirst and hunger to win, and hopefully they're the guys that can get it done. I know the town is excited. I know that there's work cut out for them, but it was easy for everyone to be able to do it, so hopefully they're the guys." Barry Sanders goes on to say, "It's definitely a new feel for Detroit. Something, obviously, he's been around the team. Yes, he's a quality ambassador for the football team, but when you're around a team such as the former regime of Matt Patricia and you come in with a Dan Campbell, it is a new vibe." And that's hearing from multiple people. We're talking players, we're talking personnel, a A lot of people surrounding Detroit is saying the same sentiment that Barry Sanders is, so that is a good news for Detroit Lions. Initially, obviously, we got to see it on the field, but you always want to hear positive vibes instead of negative, and when the great one speaks, we must listen. When it comes to the Detroit Lions running game, it's definitely not talked about positive when it comes to the Detroit Lions, but that is okay. We're used to it, and honestly, it's well-deserved considering the fact that this team has not run for a long time. But when you look at former players and former analysts, sometimes they can give you a different perspective, and Maurice Jones-Drew, former Jacksonville Jaguar running back and current NFL analyst from NFL Network, stated that he believes that none other than DeAndre Swift is his 22nd ranked running back in the NFL. And that may sound fairly bad, 22nd, but considering the fact that the Detroit Lions are not known as a running team, and he did have a mixed bag last year, it's much positive compared to what other analysts have stated, saying Detroit Lions running back could be in the 40s or 50s. I mean, literally, we're talked about completely off-balanced in no regard for anything that you see currently on the roster. So 22nd is much better than we have seen, and he stated, Swift's rookie season was a mixed bag with few big performances, but some subpar outings. The Lions can't afford for their rushing attack to have full lull and strength, while their swift and talented and versatile weapons out in the backfield must find consistency to make a major year leap to under Anthony Lynn's offense. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're nearly at 14,000 subscribers. With your help, get it done. We're going against the legacy big media. Guess what? Hey, we can get noticed, and we are. With your help, we can get your voice heard. So I do appreciate the concept of having a former player, current analyst, give a little bit of love towards our running back, DeAndre Swift. It's important to really understand that former players kind of understand a little bit more than just folks speaking at ESPN or a sports center, so it's good to see that. But Swift does have a lot of ability, and he really needs to be the focal point of this offense. And Anthony Lynn, I do believe so, will put him in position to succeed. And I think ultimately he could potentially be a top 10 running back in this NFL, talking about rushing yards as well as in passing downs. Ultimately, what we've seen when it comes to this news, we've seen some negative media, and we're going to continue to see that until this changes when it comes to ESPNs and the Las Vegas and how they operate with their betting. But you see some positives as well and some nuggets that we can take away. All in all, it all depends on how this season goes when it comes to, is Barry Sanders correct regarding the regime? Maurice Jones-Drew talking about DeAndre Swift, and is the Lions roster as bad as what Vegas and ESPN says? We'll see going forward, and I can't wait for this NFL season because it is approaching very close, 3-4 weeks away from training camp. We're going to get into preseason and ultimately the NFL season where, guess what, folks? The play on the field will be the judge, not just some analysts talking out there as well. In the upcoming videos, we got the One Pride podcast on my channel at 6:30 p.m. EST every single Thursday, and on Sunday, 11 a.m., we do Q&A. We talk all things Detroit Lions, so if you're not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any Lions news and rumors.